Okay, time for another update. This update probably the least interesting and the most interesting at the same time because I like doing game of the year lists. Every year I'll make a post or I'll do something. It's fun. Right? You rank the top 10 games you played, whatever. So I'm doing that here. That's the most interesting part. The second part is that I took basically the entire last 4 weeks off from working on anything. I mean, I'm just not feeling it. And you're not going to sit here and try to make something. And I don't even feel like playing games at all, let alone making games recently. A very, very strange mood. I don't know. I feel like this time of the year is like that. It's just a malaise. But what if I did this? What if I did this instead? Okay, so actually instead, go through my favorite games of 2023. And the first one's not Wild Hearts, but I have a selection of honorable mentions. And I really like Monster Hunter. I enjoyed my time with Wild Hearts. Never went back to it. There was like the EA trial. You can play the game for 6 hours or something. Had a great time. Really did. Think it's great. Did not play any more of it. So the honorable mentions are really more of things I thought could make the top 10. And I don't want to make this to be super long. I don't want any of these videos to be super long. I'm doing it for fun. And you can't have fun for that long. I never even saw this guy with the bow. He's been there the whole time. I liked the umbrella. I kind of remember that, yeah. It's been a while. Next. Other honorable mention. Baldur's Gate 3. I really enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3. Really hot and heavy for the first 2-3 weeks. And then it kind of tapered off for me. It started to feel like the combat was the same every battle and a little bit protracted. Still fun, and perhaps that's me not understanding, oh, there's more interesting things you can do, like throw oil and do this and do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not smart enough. But I finished Act 1. That was really cool. I don't need more. This isn't necessarily my type of game. I think it's incredibly impressive to have, an infinite amount of ways to go through the goblin camp. But it's kind of exhausting to play a game like that. There's just so much to do, so many ways to do things. Okay, I gotta step away. That's kind of how I feel about it. Jedi Survivor. I just like how lame he looks in this screenshot. Love the Robot Man. This game is great. This game is very, 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 very good. However, I was playing it on Xbox, and this is probably same for the PS5 version as well. Didn't run good at all. Did the 60 FPS mode look like trash? You got a 60 FPS mode and it runs in like 35, 40. What are we even doing? And then the 30 FPS mode also would have a bunch of sections where it went to like 18. It was unplayable. And the game was so good that I was having such a bad time with the performance, I didn't want to keep playing it. Like, I didn't want my experience to be like, well, it was really good, but ran like crap. And so I waited for a patch. And that patch came 6 months later, and I have not gone back to the game. So sorry, little robot man. You're gonna just have to be a beep boop robot for someone else. Final Fantasy 16. I really like Final Fantasy 16. I stopped about halfway through it. I think actually now that Baldur's Gate 3 is what came out that made me stop playing Final Fantasy 16. That sounds about right. It's really good. I really liked the gameplay. I really liked the story. But it kind of... people talk about like the Titan fight and you're fighting the guy who's as large as the mountain. And I did that. I got that far. And it didn't blow me away. I was like, this is cool. This is really well done. This is neat. Yay, thumbs up. But didn't blow me away in that respect. But very, very fun game. I do want to go back to it, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Again, it goes back to the malaise. The general malaise. Next game. Starfield. Starfield is not an honorable mention. It's a dishonorable mention. It is the epitome of I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And you could even break this down to the weird filter they have over everything in the game that makes HDR look like trash. It's such a weird choice. I played about 25 hours of Starfield, and there's elements of it I really liked. I really liked the quests I did a lot. I liked the changes to the combat they made over Fallout. The shooting felt fun to me. I enjoyed what I was doing. But even exploring little starships or encampments was fun until you start to see, oh, this is the same encampment. And it really put into perspective what I love about Fallout games in particular is the exploration. Is what's that thing over there? And you start going that direction. Oh, what's that? Oh my gosh, there's this other thing right here. Let me do that. And it's so much fun. I love that. That is the core loop of Fallout and of Bethesda games that I love doing. And Starfield, despite having 1,000 planets, has nothing interesting to explore. And it took me a little while to kind of come to that conclusion and just cold turkey the game. Like, I'm out. I don't want this. You really missed the point of what I want from a Bethesda game, or even what I want from a game with exploration in it. It's baffling. Why would I want to explore these places that have nothing on them? There's nothing here. I don't get it. And people are what's so fascinating to me about Starfield is people are either love it or they hate it. And I find myself kind of in the middle where I really did like some of it, but it's just not what I want. And it's so disappointing. All right, this is not going to be, again, wanted this not to be long. So we're going to move. Spider-Man 2. It's more Spider-Man. I think they improved the combat significantly. I think they trimmed the fat significantly. It is fun. I liked the story. I liked Venom. I liked Kraven. I even liked the Mary Jane sections. I actually really liked the Mary Jane sections because third person behind the back shoulder stealth sequences are my jam. Really enjoy that. So Spider-Man 2, really fun. But nothing you're gonna, you're in World War II, behind enemy lines, hiding in the bunker. You're not gonna write home about it. You're not gonna write home about Spider-Man 2 while you're time traveling in World War I. You're not gonna do that. The Last Case of Benedict Fox, one of the few indie games that I got a chance to play this year. I really like this game. It is a Metroidvania. Combat is kind of whatever, not that great. But the puzzle solving and going through that world, getting new equipment, you make a cipher. Like I have a notebook where I wrote what every letter means down and what all the numbers mean, and you're solving all these little cryptic puzzles. It's really in-depth Resident Evil style puzzles in a Metroidvania game, and that is so fun to me. I really like this game. I feel like it got such a bad rap, but I had a great time. I will say that the combat's whatever. In fact, there's so many elements of the combat I never even engaged with because, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. But exploring, solving the puzzles, yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Liza P. is really good. This is one of the best Souls games that's not made by FromSoft. One of the first Souls games on the list, not the last. I really like a lot of it. I think some of the level design stuff is not super blowing me away. Pretty linear. I think it overuses kind of the what if there was a second phase of this boss fight to a ridiculous degree. I think there's difficulty spikes all over the place. Those giant clown guys are relentless. I hate those clown guys. Probably one of the hardest things in the game. And there's so many hard things that are trying to kill you in this game. I do think the difficulty was designed with you can summon in a friend, like an AI partner. But my perspective on that is, but that doesn't mean just make the game super hard because you have the excuse of, well, you can summon someone in. So I'm trying to do all these fights without summoning someone in, and I get to the end with that lightning lady flying around, and I'm like, I'm out. It was fun to try, but then everything has two phases. It's just too much. So I think the combat needs to be fine-tuned, and from that perspective, I think The weapons didn't really do much for me. The prosthetic arm stuff was interesting, but also like Sekiro, I didn't engage with it that much. But it's very fun. It's very good. I kind of wish they had picked a lane, like pick Bloodborne or Sekiro in terms of your combat you're trying to do. Because it's kind of both, and I feel like it doesn't really hit the heights of either. And the parry, I don't know, something about the parry I never really got quite right, and it's over reliance on relentless. What if I did 12 hit combo to you and I got a perfect parry all of them? It's insane. And going back to that lightning fight lady at the end, there's this one combo she does that I just, as soon as I saw her start to do it, I just ran away. It's like, well, she can't get close to me, so I'll just run away. And that's not, I feel like, the intended thing. So anyway, I'm like, this is my number 8 game of the year. Let me complain about it. It's a very, very, very good game. It's a very fun game. I had a great time. Didn't see a giant whale, though. Mario Wonder. This is number 7. Really liked Mario Wonder. A lot of fun. I love the badge challenges. I love the final bonus world. Like, this game is this high largely for the bonus special stages and that final stage. It's so much fun. Even if the very end of it you're invisible, and I hated it, and I had to put a string on my TV so I could see where the hell I was. A lot of fun. Mario Wonder. I don't think, for someone like me who's played over 1,000 hours of Mario Maker, which is not an exaggeration, probably an underestimation, this game was very much Nintendo's response to, hey, you did that? We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So many of these stages and Wonder Effect were like, oh, I played a Mario Maker stage like this. That's really cool. Really fun. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. This is another Souls game. I really like this game. It kind of does a unique thing with dodging and parrying and how you can use both in tandem. It's much more similar to Sekiro than like Nioh would be to Dark Souls. Tons of fun. I really liked Wolong. I had a blast with it. I can't, going back to the level design of Lies of P, which is better than Wolong. Wolong's pretty basic. It is, you're in a room and you're going to the next room and you're fighting some guys, but man, fighting those guys is fun as hell. And fighting these bosses, also fun as hell. Wolong, I highly, highly, highly recommend. I had a great time. It definitely has some points of like, okay, maybe this is a little difficult. Even like the first boss was like, damn, I don't have the combat down enough yet. Like, you gotta relax. And there's the one fight with the guy on the horse towards the middle of the game that relentless, but so much fun. Once I was able to figure it out, it was difficult, but it was just enough where like, okay, I think I can get this. I'm learning the attacks. I'm learning the patterns. I'm seeing the matrix, as opposed to Lies of P, where it was, how are you even supposed to fight this thing? And this is insane. And I think that's why this game is above it. In fact, I know that's why it's above it. And another Souls game, Lords of the Fallen. I think Lords of the Fallen is so much fun. I think the light world, dark world, weird lantern mechanic is super cool. But overall, as a Dark Souls 2 apologist, this game feels like a Souls game from 2012, or 2013, I guess would be Dark Souls 2. 2011 would be Dark Souls 1. Like, that's what it feels like, and I think it executes it super well. The world is all interconnected, so you'll be on a castle rampart, and you'll look out and see something and go like, wait, I've been there. And then you'll be in a forest later and you'll look back up and like, that's the castle. And it's such a simple, stupid thing, but it's so fun. You really feel like you're on this grand adventure that I liked a lot. I didn't finish it. I think I played like 50 hours of it. It's a long game. I think that would be a criticism. It's probably too long. Maybe there's too much going on. Again, that's the Dark Souls 2 problem of like, why don't you just pick a few of these areas and execute them fully instead of having one area that's infested by like poison gas and it's like a room? Why don't we either scale it up or just don't include it? But I am a Dark Souls 2 apologist and I had a lot of fun. I might go back to that game. Really good. And that, like I said, that light dark world thing was really cool. Number 4, Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2, I think from a gameplay, like game design perspective of the combat in particular, not that great. I don't think it does survival horror very well in terms of mechanics. But I think this game has just the confidence to go wherever the hell it wants to go. And, you know, I played through Alan Wake Remastered and Control, and then I played Alan Wake 2, and I had a great time. I don't think it sinks the ending, the landing of the ending, whatever. But the journey was so freaking cool. And it really swings for the fences, and you just appreciate it the entire time. The mystery, how it unfolds, how it's told to you, the mix of live action and game, you know, beautiful photo real forest nonsense. Super cool, unique game. I'm a survival horror fan, so I'm more critical of those elements of like there's kind of ammo scarcity, but not really, and this combat's not that good, so why are you making me do it so much? I don't think Remedy has that down, and even Control has that problem. I don't think the combat in Control is super well balanced and designed from my perspective, or especially Alan Wake 1, which is not. I don't like shining a light on something and breaking its shield. Just let me fight a thing, and if you want me to fight it with light, fine, but I don't want to do both. Anyway, the journey of Alan Wake 2 is so cool, so rewarding. This is one of those games I got the platinum in, even though I played it on PC, so whatever. Imaginary platinum on the Epic Game Store. Yippee, imaginary crown to go with it. Tons of fun. And yeah, like I said, I really am soured by the ending, like the last 20 minutes. But the ride to get there and exploring this weird town, so cool. So cool. Dun, 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 dun. Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is great. There are elements of this game, there are entire hours of this game that I think are some of the best things I've ever played ever, hands down. And I think what holds Tears of the Kingdom back is that there's so much of it, which is probably why a lot of people like it. But man, you cut this game in half or in a third of itself, and I think you have the best Zelda game, or one of the best Zelda games for sure. But so much extra wasted space, like, oh, we gotta have this, we gotta have this, we gotta have this, and not all of those things are gonna hit. And so I get to these points of like, wow, that was amazing, and then I'll do some other side mission or side objective I see, and I'm like, that was lame. And it kind of drags the whole experience down. And even if, like, what I liken it to is if you find the best pizza ever, and you give me the best pizza, and I eat a slice, and you're like, here's another one, and I eat that slice, and I'm loving it, right? It's the best pizza ever. And you go, here's another slice, and I'm looking at you like, okay, I'll have another one, but like, how much pizza am I gonna eat? And then here's another slice, and another one. And at a certain point, after I've eaten like 2 pies and I feel like I'm gonna die, it doesn't matter that it's the best pizza ever. I'm done. I'm done eating this pizza. And that's the problem with Breath of the Wild. That's the problem with Tears of the Kingdom. There's just too much. And maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I need to learn to, I don't know, not shove my face with pizza as much. Maybe that's what I need to learn, but I'm not going to learn it. I don't know why Zelda games need to be 200 hours now. I'm fine with it being 30 to 50. I would love this game at 30 to 50 hours. I would replay it all the time. I love Souls games, as evidenced by the 3 Souls games that are on the list already. But Elden Ring is not my favorite, and it's because it's too big. There's too much here. I love going back and replaying Dark Souls 1, 2, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, etc. All of them. Will I replay Elden Ring? Like, I'm going to replay it before the DLC comes out. But when will I play it again after that? I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too daunting to go into. I would much rather sit down and replay Wind Waker HD over and over again than play Tears of the Kingdom. And because there's so much content in Tears, but there's not so much 10 out of 10 content. Like, there's not so much perfect content. I have to find it. And, like, that's cool. I go to the shrines. I love all the shrines. The shrines, I think, are great. They were great in Breath of the Wild, but they're improved here. I can do that, but then once that's done, I just replay the game. I'm left with a bunch of content I don't want to do. It's kind of my problem. And I think when you're presenting me with a product, or a piece of art even, which all these are, if 30% of it I don't want to do, I don't care for, I don't think is fun, that's going to hurt my perception of the product. Like, if you are giving me the best pizza in the world, but you also like have a pile of trash in the corner of the room that's stinking up the room, it's gonna affect the best pizza in the world. Okay, it's just gonna. And that's a little exaggerated, but it's true. Number 2, Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is perfect, I think. I love Pikmin. I replayed all 3 Pikmin games before I played Pikmin 4. I was not Pikmin'd out, believe it or not. I love Pikmin 4. It has so many homages to the previous games. It feels closer to 2 than 3 did, which is great. If I were to rank them, it's tough because I love Pikmin 1. I think Pikmin 1 is such a perfect game. And I love Pikmin 2, and Pikmin 3 is really good. Pikmin 4 is incredible, having Ochi, or whatever his name is, and riding on him, and the Dendori battles, the weird ship, like the Olimar quest thing you do. That was incredible. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just pure Pikmin. I love Pikmin so much. I really do. I don't... There's probably some complaints. Like, I wish there were more overworld areas. I wish some of them were more, I don't know, involved. Wish it wasn't as easy as it was. I wish some of the caves were... But there are great caves. Oh my god, it's so good. Pikmin 4 is incredible. But my number 1 game is... Oh, you gotta press the right button. You gotta use the right keyboard. This is Resident Evil 4 Remake is my game of the year. I love Resident Evil 4. It was my favorite game of all time. 4 Remake, I don't know. Is that my favorite game of all time? Probably not. But man, they really nailed it. Like, for a game I played probably 50 times at least, Resident Evil 4, the original, this was incredible. And I think a great example of, give me a 20-hour campaign and give me these little side objectives, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and throw my phone across the room so it doesn't beep at me. I'm going to try and beat this under 4 hours and unlock the weird cat ears. I'm going to do those things. That's so much fun. Like, that's replayability to me. I played 50 hours of this game. It's not 50 hours. I need to play Separate Ways. I haven't gotten around to it. But man, Resident Evil 4 is that behind the back, over the shoulder, third person survival horror nonsense is my shit. I love it. I think it did such a good job of just realizing what I saw 20 years ago. And it has, as of like me recording this, it's basically been 20 years since Resident Evil 4 came out, which is insane. But man, is it so cool. There's definitely critiques with it and things that were cut and moments that are changed, but God, is it good. It is so good. I want to go back and play more of it. I was doing pro runs on, like, not the New Game Plus pro runs, but just New Game runs. Got to beat it in under 3 hours, and I was going through every difficulty. It was so cool. I really like that system that they do with the Resident Evil games to give you optional challenges, and there's not really anything to unlock, which kind of sucks, but it's so much fun. It's so cool. So now we'll go. What is even on all my tabs? Oh, nothing too crazy. To this, I didn't work on the game. I patched it after I broke it in the last update. I fixed it. Hopefully, I don't know. I haven't checked on it. Like I said, malaise. The great malaise. I'm gonna keep Clawman in the frame. But I have an idea for something, and it's a small puzzle game that I think will be very quick to make. I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying taking the break, so this might be the start of a hiatus. If I don't really do anything, I won't do a video. Because I'm really only doing this video to say I might not do videos and also to talk about Game of the Year. That's it. It's very selfish. This whole YouTube making games, it's all selfish. It's all selfish, man. Whee! Oh God, it's so bright. Okay, you gotta tone it down. You're too bright. So that's it. We'll see. Maybe I'll go back to the survival horror game. Maybe I'll make this little puzzle game. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I won't be back next month, but this isn't goodbye forever if it is goodbye for a short amount of time. I'll put it that way. I've really enjoyed making these videos. It's just kind of check-ins. But like I said, we've been really busy at work. There's just so much going on. I want to go home and do nothing. I am exhausted a lot of the time, and it's tough to make the time or find the time or feel motivated right now, especially when it's so damn cold. I guess I could turn the heat on more. Maybe that's the problem, but I refuse. I am cheap as hell. And that's it. This video is already probably way longer than I wanted it to be. No, it's only 25 minutes. That's perfect. Those are my games of the year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Etc., etc. Catch on the flippity flip while I'm going to do this. This is one of my favorite things.